Hi everyone, this time we're taking a look back at the Odeon in Horsham, West Sussex in the UK. Another fine Odeon that was sadly demolished. So here we go. The Odeon in Horsham was situated in North Street and it was finished in the Art Deco style of the day. Designed by regular Odeon architect George Coles, who actually lived locally, it opened to great fanfare on the 7th of October 1936, and it was the 26th Odeon to be built by the circuit in that year. Now the Odeon boasted 1,258 seats, 766 in the stalls and 492 in the circle. It was Horsham's largest cinema. It was equipped with BTH projection equipment, but there was no organ. This Odeon had a set-back entrance and a forecourt for patrons arriving by car, but there was a pylon illuminated from within which carried the Odeon sign, which in turn was illuminated in red neon, and this could be seen from quite a distance. Now apparently the pylon tower was built over an old well. They tried to fill it in, but it just kept consuming all the rubble no matter how much they threw into it. So in the end, they just built the pylon over the hole. Now the entrance hall had a central island paybox and two staircases leading straight up to the circle foyer. The walls had thin horizontal bands and with the ceiling gave a modern Art Deco feeling, which was carried on into the auditorium, where bands on the side walls drew the eye all the way to the proscenium. On each side of the auditorium, near the screen, there was the usual Odeon clock. The decorative scheme throughout was grey, speckled with blue and gold. The seats were priced at 2 and 6 for the front circle, 5 times dearer than the cheapest seats at 6pence in the front stalls. The opening night, well, that took 4 hours and it was officially opened by Earl Winterton MP. This was the third new Odeon he had opened in his constituency, the others being at Worthing and Lancing. The evening included a performance by the band of the Scots Guards and a concert by the Jack Payne Band. The opening film was Little Lord Fauntleroy, starring Freddie Bartholomew. Now, the manager was Mr. I.A.N. Beadle, formerly from the Odeon, Worcester Park, Surrey. 3 months later, Saturday morning pictures were started in the usual format and admission was just 6pence. Now, the Odeon carried on for many years with its usual circuit releases, supplemented with some Gaumont product, as Gaumont had no direct outlet in Horsham. When the Capitol Cinema closed in 1954, Odeon wasted no time in further establishing itself as the premier cinema in Horsham by announcing the early installation of a new widescreen and the arrival of Cinemascope in November. The widescreen was inaugurated for a week commencing Monday the 18th of October, with a new version of Romeo and Juliet being shown. Cinemascope films proper didn't really arrive until 1955. However, as time went on, attendances started to decline, and Horsham Odeon was one of 47 weaker properties disposed of by Rank to Classic Cinemas in 1967. Classic went on to create 2 small cinemas upstairs, leaving the downstairs for bingo. Classic 1 was in the old circle and it seated 310. Classic 2 was situated in the old cafe area and seated 110. The twin cinemas opened on the 26th of May 1972 and the bingo operation was leased to Mecca. And they, in the end, took over the twin cinemas as well on the 11th of December 1973, calling them Mecca 1 and 2. Now let's take a look at a few members of staff that we know worked there. Prior to March 1966, we know that Eric Jenner was the chief and Cyril Small was the second projectionist. Then from March 1966, seen here relaxing at Horsham Open Air Pool in 1966, Mike Newland on the left, he was the second projectionist, Dick Budgeon, projectionist in the centre, and Cyril Small, the chief. There was also a relief projectionist called Reg, but nobody really can remember his surname. In the 60s, the manager of the cinema was John Gower, a really nice guy apparently, always to be found in the foyer in his dinner jacket and bow tie. The deputy manager was Rosemary Chitty. Brenda Robbins was an usherette, and her mum, Irene, ran the kiosk. But they say the real character of the Odeon in those days was a dear older lady called Dolly Fletcher. She did everything from cleaning to changing the posters to appearing as the girl with the tray, and she was lovely with a heart of gold. In the 70s, a projectionist called Kevin Walker was there, and he took many photos of the Odeon in those days, including some really great images of the projection room, which was spotless, and that parquet floor was polished to a dazzling shine. Sadly, both cinemas were closed on the 10th of January 1976, with Bite the Bullet and The Omega Man in Screen 1, and All Creatures Great and Small plus Beautiful People in Screen 2. Bingo was not a great success either, and Mecca later closed the building altogether. The building stood empty for a while before being demolished, and it was earmarked for demolition in 1981. A competition was held by Horsham Gymnastics Club called Be the First to Sling the Wrecking Ball into the Building. The winner was Sue Bowden, and here is a poor press image of the event. An office block now stands on the site of the former Odeon. Well, that's it for now. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, that helps a lot. Next up, we're looking at the Palace in Thetford, which was the home of Dad's Army. So until next time, be good to each other, and I'll see you soon. Ta-da.